Okay, so yesterday we started creating a calculation, but let me start again. So I'll go to our okay. This is a union fees we have created, and we discussed about eligibility rules. What we have done in eligibility rules with the help of certain calculations. Okay, for example, logic calculation. We have grouped all the location criteria in our condition, which means any employee from these locations are eligible for this earning. Sorry, deduction. That's what we are saying here. It is either Atlanta or Chicago or New York or Boston. And employee must be part of cost center 34000. Okay. So this is our eligibility criteria. Now we also created calculation. We have to create few more calculations. Let me explain one set. I'm selecting the calculation. We have chosen conditional calculation first. Now see, this is called overlapped calculation. Conditional calculation, first we have selected logic calculation. Why we have selected logic calculation here? Because we have an criteria. Just a second. Because we have an criteria logic calculation. Our requirement says employee should be Atlanta on cost center 34000 facilities and worker must be hired greater than 31 days. This is our and condition. So all the three conditions we have included in one logic. Now to bring the Atlanta location, we utilized instance set comparison calculation because Atlanta is a location, country, location, state. This calculation is recommended. And similarly, so what we did, location in the selection list, Atlanta criteria. Coming to this cost center, I have to bring the cost center for our calculation. And here also we utilized instance set comparison calculation. Cost center in the selection list 340. And then this one, most important one. So location cost center is straightforward. But this one, because as of today's date, we have to validate 31 days. What we did here, we have selected value comparison calculation first. And here we will set pay period end date greater than worker hire date. Here we selected date increment, decrement and increment. Worker hire date standard one greater than 31. Sorry, worker hire date 31 days. If we select this, greater than equal to pay period end date. Okay. Any questions so far?
No from my end, Kiran. Now I'm little bit clear.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to edit this conditional calculation. I'm going to add few more because Atlanta, Chicago only we created, and then New York, Boston also let's create. Always when you're working on calculations, either Workday Payroll or Workday Absence Management, one logic we should remember. Calculations are complex ones. It's here because straightforward and I know what calculation will work because I have delivered certain trainings. So I know how it works, what all errors will come. So straightforward I went. But even I have 10 years of experience. If you give some new requirement, it will, from everyone normally, it will take quite a long time to find the solution, to find out which calculation, etc. Okay. What I'm trying to say, try to reuse the existing calculation instead of creating new calculations. Okay. So let me add two more rows. One C, Let's create for New York. Same condition calculation prompt. Create logic calculation because we need and criteria. AMD location equal to New York and cost center equal to 34000 and worker hire rate greater than 14 days. Categorization payroll. Now I'm going to reuse I can still create new calculations for the same logic, but I'm going to reuse it. So what I want first, I want location. AMD New York. I want cost center. AMD cost center 34000. Final, I want worker hire date. This is also we have created. AMD worker hire date greater than equal to 31 days. So I'm reusing it instead of creating new values and condition. Okay. So what is the result if employee met this criteria? 20.50. 20.5. Let's see if we have this value. No. So I'm going to create constant value calculation.